Welcome to this deep dive into the world of Darius Foroux. You provided a treasure trove of articles from him, ranging from tackling those pesky procrastination habits to building a solid foundation for productivity and getting things done. We're going to unpack his insights and help you understand what's most important for you.
It's fascinating how Foroux intertwines personal anecdotes with research-backed strategies. We'll dissect those key takeaways and discuss their relevance in your daily life so you walk away with actionable insights.
So let's begin by tackling procrastination head-on. Foroux argues it's not merely laziness or poor time management, but rather an inner struggle we all encounter. He vividly describes his own struggle to write a new book, finding himself engaging in every activity except e-writing.
Right.
From responding to emails and browsing online shops to organizing his sock drawer.
Oh, wow. I can definitely relate to that. It's like our minds find ingenious ways to avoid the task at hand.
It's captivating how he links this personal anecdote to Steven Pressfield's concept of resistance from The War of Art. Foroux quotes Pressfield characterizing resistance as deceptive and urging us to recognize this internal conflict as the root of procrastination.
Exactly. And until we identify this internal battle, we're essentially fighting a phantom enemy. Acknowledging the struggle is that initial step towards overcoming it.
So what does Foroux suggest we do to combat this resistance?
Well, he believes we need to establish a system, a foundation for both mental and physical strength that empowers us to confront those challenges directly.
Interesting. Does he provide any specific examples?
Absolutely. He reveals his own system incorporating daily practices like journaling, reading, establishing priorities, and disconnecting from extraneous information.
So it's about creating a structured routine that promotes focus and clarity.
Precisely. And beyond that, he also prioritizes exercise, a balanced diet, and nurturing connections with loved ones.
It's a holistic approach to well-being, recognizing the interconnectedness of our mental and physical states and their influence on our ability to be productive. These daily practices cultivate resilience, bolstering our focus and motivation even when faced with demanding tasks.
Exactly. It's not just about powering through. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports productivity.
Now, Foroux also offers compelling insights on enhancing focus, suggesting the elimination of superfluous elements that divert our attention from core objectives. He uses his experience with creating YouTube videos as an example. Initially, it held promise, but he eventually realized it consumed excessive time and energy, drawing him away from writing, which he genuinely enjoys and excels at.
This introduces a crucial distinction between effectiveness and pure productivity, echoing Peter Drucker's emphasis on achieving the right things, not just filling our time with activity. Foroux adapts a time management exercise from Drucker's The Effective Executive, promoting self-awareness of how we allocate our time.
I'm intrigued. What are the steps involved in this exercise?
The first step involves maintaining a comprehensive time log, meticulously tracking our activities. We then examine this log pinpointing tasks that yield no return, those time wasters that we can eliminate. Foroux underscores the significance of minimizing distractions, paving the way for focus to flourish.
So it's about ruthlessly cutting out the things that don't contribute to our goals.
Exactly. And he even challenges the reliance on willpower, proposing the removal of temptations entirely, rather than solely depending on self-control to resist them. He provides practical tactics like silencing phone notifications, blocking distracting websites, and decluttering our workspaces.
It makes sense. If the temptation isn't there, we're less likely to succumb to it. It's about setting ourselves up for success.
Precisely. It's proactive rather than reactive.
Fascinating. So we've talked about the internal struggle of procrastination and the importance of building a solid foundation for mental and physical well-being. What other strategies does Foroux offer for tackling this pervasive challenge?
Well, he presents an array of research-backed tactics, stressing the importance of self-regulation systems rather than relying solely on willpower.
This aligns with what we discussed earlier about creating a supportive environment. What are some of these tactics?
He advocates for establishing self-imposed deadlines, seeking an accountability partner or coach, working in concentrated intervals, and of course prioritizing exercise and a healthy diet.
So it's a multi-pronged approach incorporating both external structures and internal discipline.
Absolutely. And he cleverly links these tactics to a compelling study by Diane Tice and Roy Baumeister, highlighting how procrastination yields short-term gratification but long-term consequences.
Oh, I've heard of that study. Procrastinators postpone tasks to evade discomfort, only to face heightened stress and diminished performance as deadlines approach.
Right. And Foroux emphasizes that while procrastination offers temporary relief, it ultimately sabotages our goals and well-being.
Which brings us to another crucial point he makes. He underlines the importance of discerning our why, our underlying motivation, as the driving force behind an effective system.
Absolutely. And he argues that when our purpose is clear, even mundane tasks become manageable, integrated into a broader vision that fuels our efforts.
It becomes about harmonizing our actions with those deeper motivations, discovering that inner drive that imbues our work with true meaning.
Precisely. It transforms work from a chore into a meaningful pursuit.
Foroux is also a fervent advocate for reading, devouring roughly 100 books annually.
Wow, that's impressive.
He views reading as an investment in personal development, gleaning wisdom from the experiences of others. He cites Otto von Bismarck, who wisely stated, "Fools learn from experience. I prefer to learn from the experience of others."
Such a powerful quote. It speaks to the value of seeking knowledge beyond our immediate sphere.
His commitment to reading exemplifies this philosophy. Foroux doesn't possess a secret speed reading technique, but emphasizes the power of constructing systems and routines that facilitate his reading goals.
I see. So it's not about some innate ability, but rather about creating a structure that supports this habit.
Precisely. He meticulously curates a book inventory, a list of captivating titles, ensuring he always has a fresh and engaging read waiting. He also embraces an always-be reading mindset, seamlessly integrating reading into his daily life, whether it's an hour before sleep or during his commute.
It highlights the importance of prioritizing reading, not relegating it to those fleeting moments of spare time.
In a fascinating twist, Foroux proposes that incorporating time off can actually amplify our productivity. He penned an entire article titled, "Here's Why Time Off Work Actually Improves Your Work and Life."
This notion may appear counterintuitive, but I'm curious to hear his reasoning.
Studies affirm that vacations can significantly diminish perceived job stress and mitigate burnout. Reflecting on your most recent vacation, did you experience a renewed sense of vigor and enthusiasm upon returning to work?
Absolutely. It's amazing how even a short break can clear the mind and boost motivation.
Foroux identifies 5 key advantages of taking breaks: evaluating career choices, processing thoughts, stimulating creativity, focusing on personal life, and revitalizing for enhanced performance.
It's not simply about basking on a beach. It's about strategically utilizing time off to return to work feeling recharged and ready to tackle new obstacles.
He underscores the significance of maintaining low stress levels during vacations, as a stressful vacation defeats the purpose.
Right. It's about truly disconnecting and allowing ourselves to recharge.
He observes that having more time off can actually heighten our motivation to accomplish more in less time when we're working. It establishes a natural deadline, prompting us to be more efficient with our time.
That makes sense. When we know we have limited time, we tend to focus more intently on the task at hand.
To effectively manage these deadlines, Foroux proposes a practical technique called time blocking.
Yes, I've heard of this method. It involves allocating specific blocks of time on our calendars for particular tasks or activities.
This involves allocating specific blocks of time on our calendars for particular tasks or activities. Foroux employs it to stay on course with his book writing, designating dedicated time slots for this crucial objective.
It seems like a great way to ensure that important tasks don't get pushed aside.
Time blocking can be an incredibly potent tool for self-awareness, revealing any discrepancies between our aspirations and our actions. We might believe we're prioritizing something, but if it's not reflected in our calendar, perhaps it's not as vital as we perceive it to be.
It compels us to confront our genuine priorities and make conscious choices about how we spend our time.
Foroux acknowledges that time blocking isn't universally beloved, and some highly successful individuals prefer to work with unstructured calendars, adapting their schedules as needed. He emphasizes the importance of considering our individual circumstances and resources.
Of course, what works for one person may not work for another. It's about finding a system that aligns with our personal preferences and lifestyles.
For someone with limited financial means, time might be their most precious asset, making meticulous planning all the more essential.
That's a great point. Time is a finite resource, and we need to be mindful of how we utilize it.
Finding what works best for you is key. Whether you adopt time blocking or a more fluid approach, remember Foroux's central point. Productivity isn't about squeezing as much as possible into our schedules, but about achieving meaningful outcomes.
It's about quality over quantity, focusing on what truly matters and making progress towards our goals.
This leads us to another of Foroux's key themes, the power of compounding. We frequently encounter this concept in finance, where small, consistent investments can yield exponential growth over time. However, Foroux extends this principle to other realms of life skills, health, relationships. He dispels the myth of overnight success, underscoring that genuine accomplishment requires time, patience, and persistence. He uses Warren Buffett's wealth accumulation as a prime example, noting that Buffett acquired the majority of his fortune after the age of 50, illustrating that consistent effort over decades produces remarkable results.
It serves as a potent reminder to avoid discouragement from seemingly slow progress. Small, consistent actions can exert a profound influence over the long term.
Foroux encourages a shift in focus, from attempting to do everything simultaneously to mastering one thing at a time, a concept he terms sequential success. This involves building upon each accomplishment, layering skills and knowledge, and establishing a foundation for greater achievements. Consider your own goals. Where might you apply this principle of sequential success?
It involves deconstructing those larger aspirations into smaller, manageable steps, concentrating on building momentum over time. This notion dovetails seamlessly with Foroux's perspective on mental fortitude, which he deems essential for success in any endeavor. He emphasizes the significance of reiterating the fundamentals and maintaining a beginner's mindset.
He advocates for embracing lifelong learning, perceiving ourselves as perpetual students, constantly seeking novel insights and refining our comprehension. This circles back to the importance of reading, exposing ourselves to diverse ideas and perspectives to broaden our understanding of the world and our place within it. Foroux posits that reading can be a wellspring of not only knowledge, but also inspiration and motivation. He urges us to seek out books that challenge our assumptions, ignite our curiosity, and fuel our thirst for learning and growth.
And it's not just about acquiring knowledge, but about applying it. Foroux stresses the importance of translating what we learn into action, taking those insights from the page and implementing them in our lives.
That's a crucial point. It's about bridging the gap between theory and practice, making knowledge actionable. Now, Foroux also delves into the concept of mental strength. How does he approach this often neglected aspect of personal development?
He views mental strength as a skill that can be cultivated through practice and discipline, not something we're simply born with. He draws inspiration from the Stoic philosophers who emphasize the importance of controlling our thoughts and reactions in the face of adversity.
So it's about developing that inner resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and navigate challenges with composure.
Exactly. Foroux suggests that when confronted with challenging circumstances, instead of succumbing to worry and negativity, we should redirect our attention to what we can control, our actions and our mindset. He champions taking practical steps to address the situation, upholding a positive attitude, and pursuing solutions rather than fixating on problems.
That this proactive approach, coupled with an emphasis on continuous learning and personal growth, appears to be at the heart of Foroux's philosophy for attaining a productive and fulfilling life. His insights offer a roadmap for navigating the complexities of our modern world, empowering us to take ownership of our time, our energy, and ultimately our lives.
Foroux's work serves as a valuable reminder that productivity isn't simply about generating more output. It's about comprehending ourselves, constructing systems that bolster our goals, and concentrating on what truly holds significance. It's about aligning our actions with our convictions and aspirations.
And before we wrap up this deep dive into Darius Foroux's wisdom, I'd love to leave our listeners with a concise 10-point summary to help them on their journey toward a more productive and fulfilling life. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Number 1, recognize resistance. Acknowledge that internal battle of procrastination. Number 2, build a system. Establish a foundation for mental and physical strength. 3, sharpen focus. Eliminate distractions and prioritize core goals. 4, embrace effectiveness. Prioritize the right things over mere busyness. 5, manage time wisely. Track, analyze, and optimize how you spend your time. 6, master self-regulation. Create systems to overcome procrastination, not just relying on willpower. 7, seek your why. Understand your motivations and align actions with purpose. 8, invest in reading. Learn from the experiences of others and expand your horizons. 9, leverage time off. Strategically use breaks to recharge and enhance performance. And finally, number 10, harness compounding. Embrace consistent effort and the power of small, consistent actions over time.
And remember, even the smallest step taken today can propel you toward a more productive and fulfilling tomorrow. What will your first step be?